Hey friend, do you want to offer meaningful learning solutions that create behavior change, fit in the flow of work, and yield real results for your nonprofit? If yes, this is the podcast for you. Join me as I explore instructional design and leadership development best practices, as well as change management, belonging, and influence. If we haven't met yet, I'm Heather, and I've been in your shoes. I'm a learning and development consultant and founder of Skill Masters Market. Before starting my business, I led learning and leadership development initiatives for a large national nonprofit. I know what it's like to need to develop your staff quickly and effectively, and to build the relationships and cut through the organizational layers to be successful. And I'm bringing all of that to you in this podcast. So block your calendar, turn off your Teams or Slack chat, and let's dive in. It's learning for good.
I want so badly to be a morning person. I want a good morning routine. Coffee in the quiet, a walk with my pup, time to reflect and think and plan. It sounds so nice when I sit down at my desk mid-morning and think about it, or when I'm cleaning up after lunch. But when that alarm goes off at 5 a.m., it feels less nice. Feels hard. And I don't want to be a morning person anymore. Why has this habit been so hard to create? I have a cue. I'm setting my alarm, and that alarm goes off in the morning. That's my cue to get up. But my motivation is low when I hear that alarm. So instead of getting up, I hit the snooze button. And we know from the behavior science experts what it actually requires to change behavior and create a new habit. And that's what I want us to explore today, but within the context of learning. Let's dive in. It's learning for good. What does it take to create a new behavior? Because at the end of the day, that's what we want when we create learning solutions. We want to change behavior in some way. Today, I want to share lessons from some of the behavior change experts. And I'm going to share some lessons from Charles Duhigg, James Clear, and BJ Fogg. And I'll link to all of their books in the show notes. These authors are a great place to start if you're new to behavior change. First up, Charles Duhigg. In his book, The Power of Habit, Charles Duhigg talks about the habit loop. There's cue, routine, reward. What does that mean? Cue. Something triggers the change. There's some sort of prompt. Routine. You implement the change. And then reward. You see or feel or receive some sort of reward once you've implemented the change. So an example, maybe you want to work out more and you need to get a cue in place, some sort of prompt to help you work out more. So you join a gym and you commit to going every afternoon after work. You're not going to go home. When you get in your car, you're going to go straight to the gym. So getting in your car after work is the cue. Then you need a routine. So as you do this, as you get in the car and you head to the gym, this becomes part of your routine. Each day, you close up your laptop, straighten up your desk, whatever you do, you get in your car, you drive to the gym. And then as you do this, you feel proud that you've been able to commit to this routine. You might make new friends at the gym. You start to feel stronger. Maybe you even lose some weight. And as you feel these rewards, it reinforces your routine of going to the gym, and so you continue. So that's what I mean by cue, routine, and reward. Now, James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, he has a similar model. He adds craving in as the second part of the process. So it's cue, craving, response, and reward. So in addition to something triggering the change, something prompting you to change, you also have to want it before you can respond or implement the change, which makes sense, right? I can get in my car to go to the gym each day, but if I don't want it, I'm much more likely to drive home. And if I drive home instead of the gym, even some of the time, it's much less likely to become part of my routine. And if it doesn't become part of my routine, I'm less likely to see or feel those rewards. Now, let's talk about BJ Fogg's approach. In his book, Tiny Habits, BJ Fogg talks about the importance of starting small. So driving to the gym without any commitment to even walk inside may be the first change that you make. That's a tiny commitment. You close up your laptop, you get in your car, you drive to the gym. And if you've done that, success. But here's the thing. Once you're there, you're likely to go inside because you're already there. And if you go in, you'll start to build that routine and see that reward. So how do we translate this into workplace learning? Think of a change that you need people to make. So for this episode, for today, let's assume you need staff or volunteers to capture some specific information about the people you serve, but you may have a different change in mind, and I want you to go through this process with that change too, okay? But for today, let's assume you need staff or volunteers to capture some specific information about the people you serve. How can we apply behavior change principles? This is what I do when I work with nonprofit clients. So if you need support, if you need help thinking through this, if you need help creating solutions that implement or incorporate behavior change, reach out and let's chat about your needs. So to apply behavior change principles in our learning solutions, first, we need to find out when they will capture that information. What's the cue? What's the prompt for them to do it? Is it when that person first calls your organization? Is it when they visit in person? Is it when they engage in a program or service? We need to know the cue or the prompt. And then whatever we create from a learning perspective should lean into that cue. It should be part of the discussions. It should be part of the scenarios, part of the job aids, right? Whatever it is you create, that cue, that prompt has to be part of it. Then let's think about their desire to make this change, their craving. Do your people want to do this? Your staff or volunteers, do they want to capture this information? If no, why not? And what would make them want to do it? Adults often want to know why they are required to do something, so that might be a good place to start. And that becomes part of the language that you use in your learning solution. So maybe it's, hey, we need to capture specific information about the people we serve because it helps us track foot traffic so we can better staff our facility. Or because it helps us know which services they need so we can make sure our nonprofit is meeting those needs. Or because we need to show impact so that our funders want to continue to support our mission, or whatever it is. And I'd add, take it a level deeper and make it about them. Make it about the staff or volunteers. We need to capture specific information about the people we serve because it helps us track foot traffic so we can better staff our facility so you aren't overwhelmed or burned out at work, right? Now there's a motivation, there's a craving, there's a desire to implement this change. Next up, routine. How can you build it into their routine? So you've given them a prompt. Let's say it's when people walk into the facility. You've told them why to make sure that you can staff appropriately and serve people better. Now they need to implement. So, for example, maybe it's as soon as people walk into the facility, you'll welcome them and you're going to ask them these 3 questions, and then you're going to record their answers in a system and hit submit. This needs to be as simple as possible. The routine piece has to be simple. Can the questions be memorized, or do they need to be on a card? Is the system easy to access? Will their supervisor give them time to actually document the responses? Are there enough people to handle the workload if more than one person enters at the same time? You don't necessarily have control over these things, but they have to be considered, or else the change won't get implemented and it will never become part of their routine. Finally, reward. They should receive the reward of not feeling overwhelmed or burned out. because that's what you promised them. Are there other rewards? Maybe. Maybe there's even a simple thank you when they hit that submit button in the system. We can design rewards. Overall, when we want to create behavior change and we're thinking about doing that through learning, we have to get creative. And we have to pay attention to how behaviors change, how habits get created. And we have to build that in as much as we can. That's it for today. I'll see you next time on Learning for Good.
Hey friend, was this episode helpful for you? Did you like what you heard? Do you want more content like this? Here are 3 things you can do. Hit subscribe. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts or your podcast app of choice. Share this episode with a colleague. This means so much to me personally. I read every review, but it also helps me learn what content you like most so I can create more of what you want. All right, turn that Teams or Slack chat back on when you're ready, and I'll see you next time on Learning for Good.